Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I have a question, Sarah. My
Yes,
question
Helen.
is like this. Have you experienced a switch up in your view of how you're doing food? Like, has food become this like thing that it wasn't before? I, no, honestly, I'm noticing. So hold on. First of all, I'm sure for lots of us, the answer may be yes. But before we get there, I just want to say, hey, I'm Helen.
I'm Szara.
And together,
We're
we're
committed
committed
parenting,
parenting.
and each day we're bringing this conversation as for families to thrive. And so we're looking at like conversations to have today because we've covered a lot of different conversations, and like it sounds so simple, and like if anything we weren't going to talk about it because it's like what food, what, uh,
Exactly.
like as like it's kind of crazy though. Like I don't know, but around here, food has become a whole world of something. And it probably always has been. Really, if you actually look at parenting, especially maybe a large family, like I have 5 kids. So, it's a family of 7. So food tends to be this big thing in our household generally. Like a
Mhm.
lot of time, energy goes around it. Meal planning, prep, who's cooking, are people appreciating, what do people like? Like there's already a whole world there. But freaking right now with this pandemic and everybody being at home
Mhm.
and everybody going through different spaces. It's interesting. Like I notice with food over here, it's
Mhm.
like everybody is eating way more, first of all, than ever before. And I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot of like and there's a whole process in even getting food and
Oh.
filling the fridge, and a financial conversation could be there. Like
Mhm.
there's a whole world that happens. But on like a base level right now, it's like our fridge door is open like tenfold what it's ever opened in a day. And somebody is always at the fridge, or somebody's always calling from a bedroom, I'm hungry, I'm
Mhm.
hungry. And as a parent, it's been this space of at what point do I provide and at what point do I teach? Or
Mhm.
like there's this space of like, yes, it's my responsibility to make sure my kids are fed, for sure.
Mhm.
I'm a
Mhm.
parent. I've got to have some form of ownership responsibility. And there's this other space of like, seriously, like this is becoming a full-time job in itself,
Yep.
like a beyond full-time job. And
Yep.
it's like, and everybody, because too, everybody's like a little bit more bored or antsy or whatever. It's like nobody's like really clear on what they want or like. Like over here, it's like, what do you want? Oh, like it's just this whole world. Like everybody's kind of bored of stuff and they don't know. And I don't know, it's all of a sudden like occurs like it's my job to list out all the best options so that they can have like a restaurant or something. And it's kind of driven me insane a little bit to the point where we've actually reformatted over here how we even
Mm.
do food. Like usually we would prepare certain meals of the day. And
Yeah.
now it's like, we'll do dinner. We prepared
Yeah.
dinner. And the rest of the day it's like there's the fridge.
Mhm.
If there's something that you want, there's the list.
Mhm.
and and like if you would like help making it, you get to ask because like
Mhm.
it was getting to a point for me of like, especially with the younger ones, of just it seemed like every half an hour like somebody's hungry and not satisfied with what we have at the house.
Mhm.
That's what was a big
Mhm.
part. Like they're not satisfied what we have in the fridge or not sure of what they want to eat. And then as
Yes.
a parent, I go to not providing, not enough,
Yes.
whatever, and it's my job.
Mhm.
And it was just leaving me almost resentful
Mhm.
or like frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah. We're currently feeding 8 people,
Yeah.
and just even making one meal actually is a work. It requires some work. Like literally, the food that you need, food that works, and then the time to prepare.
Yeah.
That's just the meal. The other part of it has been is that people are taking on their skills in our house. So we've had lots of baking and lots of stuff like that, but it's we're eating more. There was this meme that I saw, Sarah, that makes me want to laugh. It's like somebody walks up to the door of the fridge and the fridge says, "What do you want now?" Like that's my experience, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's interesting because what is there? Oh my gosh. Well, today my other 2 sons are coming. So today, as of today, there's going to be what, 9 or 10 people in our house that we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
feeding.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everybody is like off on their own for the majority of the day, like baking. Like it's really cute. Like the teenagers, I find them like baking. They're trying on their skills. They were even barbecuing the other day, and they made the dinner like earlier in the week. They made a whole bunch of burgers for everyone, and they're having a lot of fun and playfulness
Yeah.
creating, and it's
Wow.
giving them something to sink their teeth into to
Yeah.
do, right? And
Yeah.
to like
And it's
find something
meaningful.
in the recipe, and it is, and it's meaningful. So like that's been a big part of how the teenagers especially have been passing time.
Hmm.
um but it's like, yeah, the volumes of food, and then because it is like wanting to play a little bit, like it's like finding like a creation inside of it. So it's like the ingredients list, it's, there's, it's ever growing of the things that we need to have here in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And I've really discovered for myself even just how much of a parent, I use food for coping.
Mm.
Like it's really interesting, and how actually it's been really great over the last like week and a half or 2 weeks in particular. I've been really present to that and mindful of that, and because of that, it's like actually it's really healthy and nourishing meals that are happening. And it's like I
Yeah.
notice when I'm at the fridge looking to cope, and it's like I can shut that fridge right now. That's just me being present.
Wow.
I can just shut that right now. That's me just, maybe being a little bit uncertain right now. And yeah, that's naturally gone through those spaces. It's just, I think, seeing the amount that fridge door is open and watching, it's almost like I'm watching my kids use food for coping. And
Mm.
it's got me more present of how I use food for coping.
Mm. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I guess my experience is of having to manage it so much more. I can manage what's in the house much more. There is no, I don't know how to say this, but we're not running out if we're missing something, right?
Yeah.
And then also just managing what there is to eat. I don't know, like it really is taking something, like it really is effortful, I think, where I am in the world of food, you
It
know?
almost appears like we've gone back to like simpler times in like a really lovely way in some ways. Like,
Mm,
you know, throughout the day, food now is a big part of,
mm,
like, there's space for it. It always has been a big part, but it seemed like it was like in the way or something to do, or like there wasn't enough time to really put into it or focus. And now, at least in this house, we do have a little bit more time because you
mm,
know, we're not the essential workers, so we're not out working, and
mm,
so we're at home, and so food's almost like it's become a major focus and
mm,
highlight of the day. Actually, like it's actually been kind of fun because what we've done is, because like the younger two, the 10 and 12-year-olds, are very particular eat food people, like very particular, and just to not have battles and to just enjoy for our own sanity, we go along with to create something that they would
mm,
really like. But we have like two versions of the meals here is how we're
mm,
coping or what we're creating. And
mm,
it's like, okay, so Nick, my husband, will create something for the kids for dinner
mm,
based on what they kind of wanted, and that'll be their dinner. And then we'll have an adult dinner, like what we really want. And it's been really satisfying and fulfilling of us thinking like tonight we're actually having like tuna steaks, and we're gonna like do up some like cool grill thing, and like we're actually having a lot of fun with it. It's become a big part of our day that we
mm.
talk about like the day before. What will we be having tomorrow? And looking in our fridge, what
Wow.
is there? And it becomes this whole conversation to create,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually kind of lovely. Like it's
Mm,
actually like it's so simplistic, and it's so um yeah, it just takes back to like kind of the roots or the rhythm of being a human, and yeah, bringing food and having our needs met and having the time and
mm,
space for needs to be met.
mm. I really hear that in the world of needs being met. Like it is. It's very. It is. It's one of those most basic needs. We need food, right?
Yeah.
I guess part of what's coming up for me in this conversation is we are really the lucky ones. We have, I feel like I can shop in my grocery shelves. Like it's literally I
Yeah.
don't need to go anywhere. Um, and I'm left with this experience of real concern that that's not everybody's experience. And you know what? The thing is that that's always there. I just numb it out. And now
Mm,
I'm actually confronting it face on, like the
yeah.
real privilege of what it is to live this kind of life. We don't want food.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to make do, and it's not the perfect things, like my word, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It brings an appreciation that like yeah, didn't always take or have presence to.
Yeah, like just numb. It's what you said earlier, just numbed out to.
Yeah.
Um,
Love
It,
that. Another thing I noticed that like is really like new over here, given this, is I notice I have, and again, I've talked about it on many other conversations, is this attachment or fixation or rigidness that I can sometimes come from, and I have it that family
mm,
dinner looks a certain way.
mm,
We all come to the family table and we have a family dinner and we're eating and appreciating the food that we created and getting to have this conversation time together and connected time together. And that's what it needs to look like.
mm.
And it doesn't. Like yesterday, it was hilarious. So, like, as you know, it was my two guys' birthday, and they really ordered sushi takeout. And so we ordered sushi takeout for them. And like, we wanted to sit down and like have this like big family birthday dinner. So it was like the sushi's all there, ready to go.
Oh, you just
And, oh, sorry, yeah, a call just came through. And everything's there, ready to go. And it's like, hey, let's sit down and have this family dinner. Well, they just put it on their plates. They're like loving it. Mm-mm, good, yum, yum, yum. Like, inhale and gone. And it's like, what just happened? Like, where did everyone go? And it's like, I noticed there's a part of me, because this is what I would have done in the past, of like, no, we're all staying here. And like, we need to have this conversation. We need to have this family time. And it's like, especially because of that conversation yesterday of like really actually like it's their birthday, like letting them create what their spaces are. Like it was actually really alive and fun and vibrant and playful. And I could appreciate something different in it.
mm.
Instead of the slow quietness of like coming together, it was actually like it was bedlam, but like so amazing. And it's like voices and loudness and calling for each other and laughing at each other and talking about their favorite thing, and then off they go, and you just look around and it's like an empty table with like chopsticks and soy sauce everywhere.
I love it though, because what I'm really hearing is how those expectations they didn't drive you yesterday.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think the one thing that I'm also hearing from myself and what you're creating is we always used to eat all our family meals together. Like it was that thing we did, you know? Um, and then we had got really busy where we weren't always around all at the same time. And now what's being created again is actually being together for meals, you know, that we really do sit down. Um, and there's more to the story that I'm not at liberty to share, but like really we've started to create this occasion again to be
yeah.
together and be connected. Um, yeah, and like honestly, I'm making all the meals that we've made before, or things that are family favorites that aren't like super expensive. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like it becomes this occasion. We're cooking from scratch.
I love
I
it. It's
don't
like
know.
it's an occasion. It's something to
It
appreciate. It's something
really
to look
is.
forward to. And I know even here the cooking is different now too. It's like especially that adult meal where like, pour a beverage and have some music going and like it's a moment of creation together and the teenagers are there and they're chopping or I'm chopping or
Yeah.
somebody's the chef and somebody's the main chef and it's just some excitement, like some like the main feature. Like it's like a main feature attraction and you get to really enjoy it.
I love that. You know what? I just actually saw what you were saying is we have one kid in the house who's been doing so much baking and the contribution that he knows himself to be in that. It's just what you were sharing, how the teens were
Yeah.
doing it in your house. Like he already knows himself as that. And last night it wasn't me that made meals, it was everybody else that made the meal. I got a guiding hand in there, but it wasn't me. But it's just interesting, right? Like the opportunity, what I was noticing is I had this experience of lots of heaviness around creating this food, right? Versus what it is an occasion. It's also a chance to highlight stuff, right? It's a chance to have it go, like be present with people rather than trying to make something happen the whole time. But I'm just hearing like the opportunity with food is actually to switch it up, to notice
Yeah.
what's always there and switch it up.
Mm. And I love what you're creating. It's like the opportunity of the occasion.
Yeah,
The food right now is an opportunity for an occasion. It's an
it
opportunity
is.
to come together as family. It's an opportunity to come and create and to explore and design and to even, try different flavors on or try different, who knows what on.
Today I had a cracker and I had some plain cheese and I had some tomato and I just bought a basil plant. And so I snipped a piece off and I gave it to one of my kids. But he was on on a call with his girlfriend, right? So the three of us, like, I love this part. I shared it with him, and he shared it with his girlfriend who's somewhere in the States. So we had a meal without, like, we had a snack together without even intending it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's like,
And what I hear, what we can take away from this conversation, and like
mm,
what we're taking away from this conversation is like, imagine the context of food as an occasion.
yes,
What are we creating with the food we're eating?
yeah,
What's the connection? What's the
yeah.
experience?
No matter what it looks like, right? No
Yeah,
matter what it is.
yeah. If it's toast, you know, when you're
Exactly.
sitting down, and if it's with your whole family, or if it's one child, or if it's your partner, or if even if it's by yourself and you're nourishing yourself, like the opportunity of the occasion that food
Oh,
brings right now to bring us together, to bring us in communication, to bring us in communion, you know, to really like explore and be.
you know, it's so brilliant because the one thing I was looking at yesterday is how do I live my life that every moment, and that's a bit of a tall order, but every moment is a fulfillment of my life. Well, right there, right? It's not consuming food just to like put calories in my body, right? The opportunity is to create this as a moment, as an occasion, whether it be for myself or other people included.
And like I'm really even excited to like bring that to especially the younger guys, like the 10-year-old and 12-year-old is like, okay, like create it as an occasion with them.
Mm,
You know, like my older ones are very enrolled in that. They like to do that kind of stuff, and
mm-hmm,
they're like, you know, we just have that happen naturally. But the younger ones, it's like, how can this be an occasion for them? And ask them, like,
mm,
what would you like your food occasion to be? What would you want to create with this meal? What is there? And like just getting curious and
yeah,
fun and creating it as the occasion it can be.
yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
love it. So that's the
Cool.
invitation for us all. What's the
It really
occasion
is.
you're creating with food? What are you creating in your day? And what, you know, how is it going to be? How's the experience of food and nourishment going to forward your
Mm,
commitment
mm,
to family thriving and connection?
mm-hmm.
Not like in a rigid has to look a certain way, but like what would you like take on with that?
Yep. Hands
Love
down.
it.
Okay. Lots of love. Can't wait to hear what people get up to though, Sarah. Hey?
Tasty recipe alert. Tasty recipe. I'd love to hear all kinds of different occasions that are
Yeah.
happening. What neat things get formed from the fridge and like, yeah, what people are creating in this experience.
Yeah, and like what your favorite, I don't know, foraging meal is, or,
I know.
I don't know,
The
what you
most
managed to
wild,
make with
zaniest
nothing.
concoction.
Yeah, or what you made with like three ingredients that you had left in your fridge. Like,
Yeah,
honestly. Yeah.
love it.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay,
Okay.
enjoy. Until tomorrow, we'll see you again tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time for conversations about families thriving.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.